In this mini-series, we've been discussing... it's been inspired by Goodison Park, one of the great football venues which closes for the men's team. I should add that I think the plan is that the women should play at Goodison going forward. But it's a stadium that's given us... football fans, some wonderful memories down there. There's a 1966 Pele Brazil World Cup games. Some terrific Everton sides down the years. Harry Catterick's teams, Ball Harvey Kendall, School of Science, of course, in those days. Before handing the baton over to the greatest Everton team ever, and we've been discussing the achievements of that Howard Kendall group from a period when the club, Howard, and the squad were really toiling.
Yeah.
Through to this glorious conclusion that we're going to discuss in this episode, Andy. Last time round, we discussed Everton winning a semi-final against Luton. Mm-hmm. So you've got the league title in the bag, 5 games from the end of the season. Yeah. You've won an FA Cup semi-final against Luton, so there's a Wembley appearance on the horizon. And you've managed to dig out, and it was that, a goalless draw against Bayern Munich. Mm-hmm. Bayern Munich in the first leg of a Cup Winners' Cup semi-final. So now we can discuss the greatest night. I think Evertonians would agree. Certainly was in your career, but the greatest night I think Goodison has ever witnessed.
I can't think of another one. I've said all along, if I can take one with me when I leave this land, then one game only with me. That's the one.
And Goodison played its part.
Oh, yeah. My goodness.
We discussed, I think, in episode 1, games at Goodison that Howard had played in as player-manager when 14,000 were in that big stand. It's a cold place to sit and watch football. Trust me, it must be an intimidating, cold place to be on the pitch in front of so few. But not this night. No. This night, you could not buy a ticket.
No, you could not buy a ticket. And I don't know what the official attendance was, but I guarantee
120,000.
I guarantee you, Keezy, it was whatever the attendance was, put another 10 on that, 10,000. And it started, the whole day was electric, full of anticipation. Here were one of the most aristocratic teams in European football, Bayern Munich, coming to Goodison.
Do you remember what the day included? Did you meet early?
We met, hotel, had a sleep in the afternoon.
So lunchtime hotel?
Lunchtime hotel.
Little run round in the morning?
Yeah, a little walk round, little train, maybe go through a few set pieces, just nothing much. Just fine-tune things. Then lunch, bit of lunch if you wanted it, sleep. The afternoon up, maybe it would certainly be at least.
But you never slept, did you?
No, I never slept.
Ever?
Ever. No, waste of time. I'll have plenty of time to sleep when I'm not here. That was my motto. But something might happen, as I used to say to you, what if something happens important and I'm asleep? I'll miss it.
But everybody else is asleep. What are you doing?
I just watch TV. Quietly. So don't waken up.
Still rooming with Graham Sharp?
Yes, I think. Do you know what? I'm pretty sure we would have roomed together. A lot of the time, once or twice, I did room with Bales, John Bailey, but he wouldn't have been playing that night. So I would probably have been with Sharpie. Aye, definitely.
And this is a season that started so well for Adrian Heath.
Yeah,
11 goals when he picked up an ACL at Sheffield Wednesday, finished his season.
Totally.
Andy Gray takes the jersey, can't score.
No.
Wearing 8.
Nope.
For 11 games.
Nope.
Eventually breaks the duck wearing Sharpie's 9.
Yeah.
Which you now want to hold on to.
Which I did hold on to.
And the rest of that season's gone okay.
Yeah. The rest of that season's gone brilliantly for me and the team. Yeah.
Quarter-final, not a problem. It should be remembered, you nearly went out to the University of Ireland.
University College Dublin.
Was it really? Yeah.
University College Dublin. Good team, by the way.
Whoever it was.
Very, very good team.
Yeah.
We played them and we beat them 1-0, I think. 1-0? Yeah. And they hit the bar at Goodison.
Yeah.
I think when we would
in an era when away goals count double.
Yeah.
So you've nearly, but you've scored 3 in the quarter-final.
Yeah, Fortuna Sittard. Got 3 then.
First leg won.
By the way, that was the only game I'd played in the European. I didn't play against University College. Well, and I think the other one was Slovan Bratislava or something like that.
He would have been playing in those days, wouldn't he?
We played Slovan Bratislava, beat them easy. And then, obviously, they needed my help to beat Fortuna Sittard.
Yeah, there is an interesting story. And I think enough time has passed for you to be able to tell it. You scored 3 in the first leg against Sittard.
Yeah.
You didn't play in the second leg. So you relaxed a little bit on the night before the game.
Yeah.
And then Howard realised
Yeah.
he was short of numbers, didn't he?
Well, we unlike today, we would, if you weren't playing, most of the guys would travel.
You'd go anyway.
Yeah, we'd go anyway, even if it was abroad. So there was me, Sheeds. I don't know who else wasn't playing.
Inchie,
maybe.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
Inchie was not playing because he was injured.
He was
of course,
injured,
yeah.
so Inchie and one or two others would have gone that weren't playing. And of course, we had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
In the hotel with some of the staff
Which
as well.
is fine, 'cause you don't expect to be involved.
Which is what you do because you're not involved. So I'm on the coach feeling less than my best, and Howard popped up, Andy, yes boss, here a minute. I went, oh right, I'll go down to the front. Think, what's this? Oh, what did I do last night? I'm surely I'm not in trouble. He says, listen, your sub. I went, what? He says, I'm going to have to put you sub. I says, I can't go sub. You're joking, I was out last night, you can't go sub. He says, it's all right. He said, just put a strip on and sit on the bench because I miscounted the players and I haven't got enough players. And I'm going, what? He said, honestly, I'll only use you if it's an emergency.
So you're stripped and part of
So I'm stripped and
a
sitting
group
there.
of substitutes, of
Yeah,
course, in those days.
yeah.
But anyway, that's as an aside. Bayern Munich now, semi-final.
Yeah.
Goalless first leg.
Yeah.
Got to win. And,
Yeah.
and again, it's worth remembering, if the away team scores, that goal's worth 2.
Yeah, yeah.
And what happens?
Well, I mean, you talked about the day, but when we arrived at Goodison, you talk about Goodison, and I had never, in the games I had played there prior to my arriving there and while I was playing there, had ever turned up and was faced with, and this is what, an hour and a half before the game, and faced with 20,000 fans there already. Already.
In the street?
The street is buzzing, and I mean buzzing, Keezy. The whole, you couldn't come off the coach without, wow, hairs in the back of your neck up. And I'm thinking, wow, they're ready. You know, our guys and gals, our supporters are ready.
Intimidating or inspiring?
Inspiring for me, and I'd have to say inspiring for the players as well.
You'll look around and see anybody that was
No, I think most of the
or-
guys, when I think back now, I can't think of any of them because of what we had gone through in that year. Highs and very few lows. That any of them would have been anything other than excited, expecting, couldn't wait. And I remember going out and coming down the tunnel, and as you know, the tunnel was like, as I say, you're lucky to get 3 abreast in that tunnel, and we come down with this giant of a football team, and I'm looking at, you know, Soren Lerby, Faf in goal. Did Mateus play that night?
I was just thinking Mateus would have
I think
been
Lothar
there.
Mateus
Yeah, he
played
would have
that
been,
night. I was playing against him.
He played for 100 years, so he must have been.
And I was playing against, we were playing against German centre-back. I think, was it Agenthaler?
Yes.
I think Agenthaler played, and Eder, who's another international centre-back. I mean, it was just, Dieter Hoeneß was the front man. Ludwig Kogel, I think.
I mean, just a good side.
Oh,
A very good
They
side.
were more than that. And they were full of European
Yeah.
experience. They'd
Yeah.
been there before, they'd been there, seen it, done it. We hadn't. This is new to us. But I remember as you come up the little flight of stairs just before you hit the pitch, my goodness, the noise, and I mean a wall of noise. Woof. And even they must have thought, wow. You know, they must have arrived with like tiny little grounds in comparison to theirs. Munich Stadium, Olympic Stadium, was it in Munich?
It was
Yeah.
in those days, yeah.
So compared to that, this was like Bournemouth. You know what I mean? So, and they came out and this wall of noise hit us. And I remember thinking, taking a deep breath, a real deep breath, and thinking, right, we're ready. We're ready. Ready. And we were. And we were.
But
We went one down. We'd played well. We'd battered them. I was lucky not to get sent off, but I didn't, thankfully.
Why?
They were quite physical. They weren't going to. They weren't going to take nothing. They were going to a final. They weren't letting us stand in their way. And first of all, they got reedy. If you ever see pictures or video of that semi-final, you'll see Peter Reid's one sock is white, and the other sock is a very dark colour. That dark colour is his blood that was pouring from a wound in his shin, just away from his shin bone, where they had studied him, and there was a 2-inch hole in his leg, And they're going, they said, Reedy, you need to come off and get... And in those days, you could play with blood all over the place. You didn't go, Reedy, we'll come off, we'll have to stitch you.
No.
Never mind stitch you. Give me some cotton wool. So he grabbed a big wad of cotton wool, shoved it down his sock, stuck it into the hole in his leg, pulled his sock up. Right, let's go. And I was getting kicked about a bit as well. And somebody came in behind me. I think it was Agenthaler or somebody, and took me out, cleaned me out. But I never quite fell to the ground. I kind of kept my balance, but turned. And as I turned, why? I've no idea where it came from, Keezy. And to this day...
I know you.
And I turned and I swung my left foot. And I guarantee you, if I'd have caught the guy, I'm off.
I can see it now.
I'm off.
Yeah.
Right? So, luckily, my accuracy failed me and I missed him. So I basically did a pirouette and landed up and stood there. And the ref came over. The ref did brilliantly for me. He just came over and really grabbed me.
I mean, it's been a series about Goodison as much as anything else. And now at one down, you need, and you've talked about the wall of sound as you enter. Now you need everybody that's wearing blue in that stadium.
Yeah.
Did it at any point sense not tonight?
No,
or
never.
Always felt you could win it?
Always felt I could win it. Went in, Howard was brilliant. Sat in that little dressing room. Gaffer was there. He said, what can I say? You've been brilliant. You've played well. Lost a stupid goal in a counter-attack. 1 down. See that lot out there? Pointing to the Gladys Street. See that? See them? Them? Get it anywhere near the goal, they'll suck it in. That's all I'm asking you to do. Get it anywhere near it, let them do the rest. That was it. Semi-final. European competition.
1-0 Bayern, 1-1.
Long throw. Long throw. They were weak in the air, as I've said. I kind of smacked the centre-back about a bit first half. So they were a bit bruised and bloodied. And Gary Stevens had a long throw. We used it. Why not? I've never understood people who criticise teams for doing that. But anyway, he had a long throw early in the second half. I managed to get a little touch on it near post. Helped it on across goal, and Sharpie came in and did the rest. My goodness. It was like you're walking back. It's like you're floating, Keezy. Honestly. It's like the ground's there and your feet are above it, the noise. Suddenly, if there was any doubt, and it wasn't from me or any of the boys on the pitch, if there was any doubt there, it had gone. That one instant, it went. The doubt was replaced by belief and expectancy.
2-1 is significant, not just because you got it, but I think there's another tale surrounding how you got it, isn't there?
Is there?
Well, the centre-back should have been marking you and wasn't. He was getting treatment at the time.
He was unlucky.
Yeah, he wasn't where he should have been. He was on the touchline.
Yes, he was getting his nose put back into place. Yeah. It clashed with the back of my head.
Yes.
I don't know how it happened.
So he's getting treatment
Yes, he's
as
off
the
the pitch.
second long throw comes in.
Yes, he's off the pitch.
Now just relive that for us, because you must see that ball. You must... At what point are you thinking, I'm having that? Keeper fumbles it.
Yeah, the ball comes in, and this time we'd switched. Sharpie went, this is what I'm talking about. We never... So first throw in, I went first post to help it on. Sharpie finished it off. This throw, Sharpie and I swapped. Sharpie went, like Sharpie says, I'll go near. I went, okay. And as he went near, and I can remember as he was just about, and I had a look at the goalie as the ball was coming over, I just had a quick check at the goalkeeper, and I saw him go for it, and I went, where's he going? And he obviously panicked because I'd won the first one, and we conceded, and he thought, I'm going to come and clean this out. Well, of course, he made a mess of it. And I thought, well, I'm staying where I am. And I'm right in front of the goalkeeper. I'm as close as Zidane is to me. That's where I am in the goal. And you're where the Faf is trying to get it. And there's no time to think. You know, you say, what were your thoughts? There was no time. My only thought was, don't miss it. It was on my right foot.
It's dropped. It's here.
It's dropped. It comes like as quick as that. It's there. You see it come. I saw it come, long throw, and then you kind of lose it behind the players just for a fraction of a second. And then it's there again as Faf goes to try and grab it. And as he goes and it comes through his arms, by the time it leaves his arms and gets to your foot, it's you're lucky if it's half a second.
But in a way, time must stand still.
Yeah,
also.
almost. And as it comes there, I just swept it. I just make contact. I can't miss it. The goal's there. I surely can't miss it. And I just tap it in. And I'm thinking, you know, it wasn't like the one I got in the final. I'll talk about that later. But that was just instinct because it was there. And I passed it in. Basically passed it in because he wasn't there, the goalie. Now, if the goalie had been there, I might have swung at that and hit it badly. But because he wasn't there, it was just...
And you've previously referenced noise. Now,
oh my goodness,
it goes up again.
Up again. And we're thinking, and they have to come out. They have to start. They need a goal now.
Before that, you've got to get back to the halfway line.
Oh, no, that was...
Take us there, that journey.
I just went right round the ground celebrating it. Everybody, everywhere. And the whole place was just... It was a cacophony of noise. It was just out of this world. As I say, it's something I'd never felt previously, something that I never heard or felt after. Nothing like that. Wembley, finals I played for Wembley, played for my country, represented them, played in big stadiums, played in massive matches. Nothing, played in an Old Firm game. Nothing comes near Goodison that night.
So, job done, or is there a little bit of doubt that more's required yet?
No, job's not done. I mean, it was one of those where you couldn't, because we were on full throttle, and so were the fans, you couldn't rein back on that throttle. You couldn't turn it down and say, right, we'll protect this, because you're asking for trouble. And we just kept playing, Keezy, and we were almost, the crowd were almost playing it for us. They had to come out and have a little go at us. And I remember, because I've done all right, I've created one, I've scored one, I'm thinking, you've done about all right for an old man so far. And then I remember Kevin Sheedy, Brace wins a tackle in the halfway line, as he would, typical Brace. Slides in, wins a tackle, gives the ball to Sheeds. And Sheeds always tells this story, he says, I picked up the ball and I rolled it, and I'm waiting on Andy making a run, and I rolled it again, and I'm still waiting on Andy making a run, and I rolled it again, and I'm still waiting on Andy making a run. And I'm thinking, give us a break here. And anyway, I made the run. She'd slid me in, and I knew Trevor Stephen I'd looked before I made the run. I had a quick look, and she could see Trevor Stephen was there, and the full-back had gone. And as it came to me, I think centre-back came over, Lerby, I think it was, sorry, Lerby came over, and I just turned it through his legs, blind. But I knew Trevor was there. And Trevor he'll tell you, Trevor Stephen had the worst game he's ever had in an Everton shirt that night. He hardly had a kick, tricky Trev. But he's right through on Faf, chipped it over him as the goalie went to ground, dinked it over him. Then we knew.
Done.
I think I headed for the dugout. Pretty sure I headed for Howard. I'm pretty sure I did. Because Trevor went that way, and I thought, well, I'm not going away over there. It's miles away. I think I headed for the dugout and to grab Howard and the guys. That were
the
there.
Greatest night the grand old lady ever had.
For me, nothing really. Nothing.
Sadly, the final's in an arena that it should never have been played in.
Terrible choice.
Rotterdam, awful, but you score again.
Yeah. First goal, a volley, left foot, easy goal, empty net. Easy goal, empty
It's not
net.
an easy goal.
Well, the only thing is, don't mess it up. We had battered them. That I've said to you before about this. Right, Rapid Vienna weren't good enough to beat us. I remember before the final, they had played Celtic, and there was a big something about it happened at Parkhead. Somebody threw something on the pitch, and they made them replay it, a one-off game at Old Trafford. Celtic Rapid Vienna. Now, I thought we're going to get an All-British final. I didn't want an All-British final because, it's great, but it's added pressure.
Yeah.
It's huge pressure. You think what they would have made of that. And I think I'm right. So I said to Reedy, Sharpie and Inchie, shall we go watch it? So four of us went to Old Trafford and watched the game, and Rapid beat them. But they ain't beating us. They are not beating us. From minute one, they had a player called Hans Krankel playing for them. Very famous Austrian centre forward.
Very good player.
Very good player. And they had somebody in the middle of midfield whose son plays in the modern game, who was a really good player as well. But apart from that, Keezy, they never had a kick.
Yeah.
Never had a kick.
So you've now won the league title and the European Cup Winners' Cup. Now, I said to you, the semi-final against Luton, probably a bit of a downer after the title success, but now you're coming off the back of a genuine triumph.
Yeah.
And you've got a cup final to play.
Yeah. Unfair.
Yeah, scheduling wasn't
Unfair.
great. Did you no favours?
No, it did us no favours. It was unfair. We flew in from Rotterdam straight after the game. Howard had organised obviously the charter to get us back to Liverpool. We got back, although it was only Rotterdam, that was the only saving grace. It was like an hour's flight. And we got back in the early hours of Thursday morning. Stayed in bed. No one got up. I would just say, stay home, don't come in. Come in Friday morning. Went in Friday morning, little loosen, whatever. Bus was there.
So it's just kind of another game.
Yeah,
I mean, cup final in those days required almost a week stay in London, didn't it? So no time.
No, Friday, train. Friday afternoon on the coach down to Harpenden, near there.
Yeah.
Just off the M40. Stayed in the hotel there that night, up, played the final. Knackered, gone. I mean, then we were.
Nothing in the legs.
No, Sharpie came to me after 10 minutes. Sharpie, and said, Andy, I'm done. I thought, just keep it going anyway. And it was like, as a game we should have won. Kevin Moran had got himself sent off.
Yeah.
And there was nothing in it so easy. You know, we had battered Manchester United, by the way, that year. We'd beaten them. We'd beaten them 5-1 at Goodison. We'd beaten them at Old Trafford. Big Ron knew we were better than him, Ron Atkinson. He knew we were better than them. But they caught us for them at the right time. And I've always said, if we'd have held on and got a draw that day, we'd have beat them in the replay. If we'd have held on. We couldn't. Norman Whiteside got a great goal, but we would never have conceded that in normal circumstances. Psychopath. Paul Bracewell, for instance, he let Mark Hughes go at the halfway line. We always give Brace pelters for that. Why didn't you bring him down, Brace? Oh, shit. I thought I could win the ball. And Psychopath, what are you doing showing Whiteside onto his left foot when you know he can't? Oh, well, I just, you know, and it's those little...
Yeah, so it didn't end as you would have wanted.
No.
But that team, you subsequently left, I think, that summer. That team went on to win the title again the year after.
Yeah. No, he didn't.
87.
I didn't win it. The year Gary Lineker came replaced me.
Yeah, not that year.
They didn't win it. They went on
the
the
year
day after.
Yeah. And that, I think, that means that we can talk about that team, that era, as being the best.
Has to be.
And you played...
I know there might be people say it's generational. The team that you mentioned, Keys, it was a fabulous team. You know, but I do think we had everything, and that we needed. And they had longevity. The guys that I left behind, yeah.
But the part you played, I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed listening over the last 4 episodes. Retains its space, has its place.
Yeah.
In your mind. But I just again want to underline the effect that ground had and has had on different generations of Everton teams.
Oh, it's extraordinary, isn't it? It's extraordinary. I mean, that is called the grand old lady, you know, for a reason. And, you know, like everything, time moves us on.
I have to confess, I've been disappointed at times when it's been discussed leaving.
I know. But it has to.
Yeah.
We know it does, don't you? I mean, if they could do at Goodison, let's say, what they've done at Anfield, stay on the site, improve the ground, bring it up to pace, then fine. But there was nowhere for Everton to go.
I still feel that it brings to an end... The recent history is frustrating.
Yes.
So there's a marker now. So, right, that's it.
Yeah.
Now let's go again.
Correct. Good shout.
And wouldn't it be something if and it's fitting for me, David Moyes...
Yes, I agree.
Will lead Everton into
a true
the new
Evertonian.
Era. Proper Evertonian.
A true Evertonian.
Yeah. But wouldn't it be nice now if it kind of went again?
Yes. It would be lovely if this new ground, leaving the old lady and grand old lady, going into Bramley Moordock, would catapult Everton into a more stable and more profitable and more successful period in their history. Because that's what that club...
Think a stadium plays a part in a football club's success?
Yes. Ask Liverpool. Ask anybody.
I'm asking Everton.
Well, ask me if the Gladys Street played a part in theirs. Yeah, you'd better believe it. Why do you think we always kick there second half? Of course it plays a huge part of the stadium. Comfortability, you know, you're surrounded. Absolutely. And particularly Goodison. As I've said, for the size of it, the atmosphere it generates is just... And you talk to players. I've talked to players since I left Everton, and the amount of people have gone there and said, what an atmosphere you get at Goodison. And you go, you know what? You're right. It does create its own special noise. And sadly, the one thing that won't be able to be replicated at Bramley Moordock probably be that type of atmosphere.
Yeah. So as this era ends, a nod to Howard.
Yeah, absolutely. Gaffer.